And welcome guys, RCSchim in front of the info box, my favorite in the morning spot. Yesterday finally I got the CADDX Peanut, which is the Insta360 Go 2, but just better for FPV. For the second flight, Insta-Go still, and the third flight, if I don't crash, the third flight will be with the Action 2 in comparison. So how much of a trade-off is the CADDX Peanut versus the Action 2? They are both quite small and lightweight HD cams. Of course the Action 2 can give you 4K 120 even, and the little CADDX Peanut can give you 2880 by 2880 by 50. I say it like this because that's the native resolution. Of course it crops in and gives you 1440p, which is 2560 by 1440, but with only 50 frames, not 60. I wish it could do 60. Up for the next flight.
Welcome to Tango 2.
So right until I take off, I keep my little power bank connected with the magnetic mount. So battery life is something that you are concerned with this, but you could use the little adapter to get 5 volt power directly from your copter, and don't worry about battery life. To start the recording, you can set up how it behaves. Press it once and it turns on and starts recording. You should increase the recording limit, time limit, to 30 minutes though, so you don't get a stopped recording. For the second flight I have the ND16 filter applied here to get some juicy motion blur. copter didn't really feel the weight of this, and this is maybe the big takeaway or the advantage over the little Action 2. So this copter can take the Action 2 as well, but this is 55 and a bit of mounting weight, and this is what, 30 grams or even less. How much of a trade-off is the image quality of this versus this? How is it cello? Is there cello? There is no cello with the Action 2 on this copter. Always dropping the ND filter. It's almost a running gag by now. Just did 3 flights in a row, and it felt a bit heavier, of course, with the bigger camera. I know that the quality will be better. Both of those cameras share one thing in common. Here after each flight, and here after 2 or 3 flights you want to recharge it. Battery can be less of a concern if you take the small adapter to go to the power output of your copter or your balance plug. Here you don't have the option yet. I mean, there are some USB cases, USB charging solutions, but it gets bigger then. I went with this solution of just taping GoPro fingers on it. The screw-on ND filters are definitely an advantage over the fall-off ND filters on this one here. In terms of mounting, they are quite similar. This is about double the height, so it will be draggier, so it is a massive air brake compared to this here. But all in all, I enjoyed flying this little copter with both. I feel a bit safer, and you've seen it. Have you seen my stunt? I was so nervous flying through that gap on the bell tower. But yeah, here you invest. Currently it's for 200 euros, which is quite cheap for this camera. And this, I think it's 349. DJI brought it down. Initially it was 420 or something like this, and now it's 350. Quite good. If you keep in mind that this almost competes with the GoPro 10. Little update and bonus flight here from the castle. I had to redo a flight because I was in the normal video mode and not VideoPro. And you want to be in VideoPro mode to be able to stabilize it, to have the full resolution. The normal video mode is just unnecessary. See you inside the footage. Hopefully recording in a mode that I can stabilize.
Hey, listen up, I've tried to tell you this 100 times. Not getting better by lying there pretending to cry. You on repeat, you can't see shit cause you have closed your eyes. You say you listen, but you're missing what it's all about. Rise up now. If you never fall, you don't change at all. Cry out now. Have you given up? it's just another sign of growing up, you're growing old, your life keep passing. Rise up now. If you never fall, you don't change at all. Cry out now. Have you given up? I will never stop, yeah. I can take it, I don't need a prize. Leave out the fact that I am up against 1,000 guys. My intuition efficient, cause I can't use my mind. Don't try to tell me how it's done, you haven't done your time. Rise up now. If you never fall, you don't change at all. Cry out now. Have you given up? I will never stop, yeah. Rise up now. If you never fall, you don't change at all. Cry out now. Have you given up? I will never stop, yeah. Rise up now. If you never fall, you don't change at all. Cry out now. Have you given up? I will never stop, yeah.
Crashed when I flew this ramp here and got into the trees, and I was searching over there, and this bugger is over here. Fortunately I still could arm it, and yeah, everything is here. Yeah, it's still recording. Let me stop it. Should be fine though. Yes, it did. Thankfully. Only a few scratches on the lens, or on the ND filter rather. The flight was still cool and was a little crash test, so out to the next little location before I have to head to work with my little Kugu keyring. But as I was fearing, the battery life of the CADDX Peanut is not too good. So either charge between your flights or have the little connector to the flight control and supply 5 volts to it. Very much fun to fly the little Smart 35. It's a perfect combination. You don't care too much about crashing, which leads to more risky flying, which hopefully results in more interesting content. And the footage is good enough. We will have a comparison here between DVR and CADDX Peanut, because Peanut stopped recording, so I will continue with the DVR. If you already own the DJI Action 2, which I do, I probably wouldn't recommend it. I bought it because it's now really cheap with 200 euros. I didn't want to buy it for 300, or the instaStudio Go 2 with the little cage for 350 or whatever. It was way too expensive then. Now it's a good deal, and I recommend it. Thanks a lot for watching this video. Hope you liked it. See you in the next one. Bye for now.